Hello everyone, I am Peppino here, and today I am back for another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Last time we saw Jebediah Kerman become the first Kerbal in space, and that has given the Kerbals enough confidence to try and put a Kerbal orbiting the moon. And so Bill Kerman is aboard the Moon Orbiter 1. It's a modified version of the Orbiter 1, and hopefully this will have more fuel, or it does have more fuel. Hopefully it will be enough fuel that we can orbit around the moon and then return safely home to Kerbin. So, Moon Orbiter 1 throttled up, SAS turned on, and we are launching in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so far so good. It's looking stable enough. It's spinning a little bit, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We just want to make sure that we can remain fairly stable. The solid fuel boosters, the first set is almost out, so we'll get ready to detach that. There those go, and here's the second set of solid fuel boosters. And once those are out, we'll be relying just on the liquid fuel that we have in our tanks. And hopefully that's going to be enough to complete our objective and return Bill safely home. Bill's a little concerned. I'm not sure why yet. Maybe first time flying a rocket into space, I guess. He has a license to be a little nervous. Alright. Now, where is the moon? There it is. Set that as our target. Whoops. We don't want Kerbnik 2 as a target. We want the moon as our target. There it is. Alright. So now, I think if we just keep on the gas here, keep burning fuel, we should hopefully be able to get our apoapsis up enough where we can reach the moon. Then we slow ourselves down enough to orbit the moon, and then once we do that, we would have to then escape the moon's gravity back towards Kerbin and bring Bill back down for a landing. So this mission is much more complicated than our previous ones, but I think we should be able to do it. So, our apoapsis is climbing here, and I'm actually just gonna wait a little bit until, or I'm gonna let you guys go for a little bit, and I'll bring you back in a while, because the burning might take a little bit to get our apoapsis all the way out to 11,400,000. Yep, that's where the moon is. So I'll be right back once we're a little closer. Okay, our apoapsis is climbing here, and we still have enough fuel, less fuel than I would like, if I'm being completely honest, but we still have enough where I feel comfortable going on with this mission. So what we're gonna do now is just let this increase, and the moon orbits this way. So there is a chance that we can get an encounter fairly easily. So hopefully once we get out there, we'll get our encounter pretty quick and we don't have to use a ton of fuel, because we are getting pretty low. Oh, there we go. Terrific. We have our moon encounter already. So now, let's speed up time a bit until we get out there. And once we're out there, then we're going to have to slow ourselves down enough to be captured by the moon's gravity. We'll orbit around the moon a little while, and then we will escape the moon's gravity back towards Kerbin, and then hopefully come in for a safe landing on Kerbin. So we're getting closer, I'll speed up time just a bit more. You don't want to speed it up too much because you can warp real fast and then miss it. And this isn't going to be a long encounter, but it's a fuel efficient one as long as we can slow ourselves down enough where we can be captured. And I think we should be able to do that. So now we're almost there. I'll zoom back in, no need to be that far out. And oh, we're actually encountering it almost on our way back. So that'll be interesting. We're gonna actually need to be going out farther and speeding ourselves up, I believe, so that we're closer to the moon. Which we could do now, but I might as well just, well, alright, I'll give it a little gas right now. And so that our moon encounter can go a little smoother. There we go. This will make it much easier to get a nice stable orbit. Alright. Now, you know what, I'll give it just a bit more gas there. And you can see there is where we'll encounter it. And so now let's get out to our moon encounter where the gravity of the moon will capture us. And we're 40 some minutes away. Alright, right there. And once we do that, then we gotta slow ourselves down, I believe, so that we can form a nice stable orbit. But I'm gonna wait till we get a little closer to the periapsis. Oh, I can start slowing us down now, I guess. Slow ourselves down. And then we want this to loop all the way around and connect for a stable orbit. And we don't want our periapsis to get too low, which is sort of what's happening. But I think we'll be alright. I'll wait till I get closer to the periapsis. And then we'll do another burn. So I'll speed up time a bit. And we'll do another burn, get our orbit established, which we're fairly close to doing. And once we do that, we'll check on Bill, make sure he's doing alright, not freaking out too bad. Alright. Right around here, we'll do a burn, and that should bring us into a nice orbit. There we go. And we'll bring that orbit down a bit. We'll do it like that. We don't want to be too close because that'll just make it harder to escape the moon's gravity than when we want to. So, Bill is doing so far so good. He seems a little uneasy about the whole concept of the fact that he's now orbiting the moon, but he's fine. He'll settle down. So let's orbit the moon a couple times, because that is what we're here for. We'll speed up time a bit. Bill can observe. He is the first Kerbal to be this close to the moon and to see it this close, and he's freaking out about it. Jebediah was much more calm about his mission. Bill seems a little uneasy about everything, but that's fine. We'll watch the sunrise and watch Kerbin rise there. And the moon, Kerbin, and the sun are almost all lined up, and I believe, actually, I can see Minimus right there. I see something floating there. I would have to assume that's Minimus. Let's zoom out, see Minimus should be right there. Yep. So we can see Minimus, the sun, Kerbin, and the moon all in one frame there. Terrific. So let's orbit a couple times. Well, we'll go around a few times just for good measure. Let Bill freak out a little more. And once he's gone around the moon a couple times, then we will begin the process of bringing him home safely. So we'll go one more time around to our periapsis. And at the periapsis is when we should probably do a burn. Alright, let's take a look at our map now. Ooh. Actually, that's going to present a problem. What we want to do is be able to escape the gravity going that way, going towards Earth. But our apoapsis is currently on the other side, or going towards Kerbin, I should say. Our apoapsis is currently on the other side because of where we are. So he'll have to orbit a little while longer. I'll just do this. Speed up time a bunch. Let him orbit a while longer. He's not actually been out here that long. He's only been out in space for a day and a half, which he has plenty of supplies. He'll be fine. Alright, now, here is just about perfect. What I want to do is speed up. I'll actually go around once more, just to make it a little better. Can't warp while the ship's under acceleration, which sometimes happens when you're changing direction. There we go. Now we'll go around one more time, and we'll try to do a burn right at our periapsis. Alright. Right there is good enough. Alright, now we're gonna face this way, and doing this burn should lead to us. Oh, there we go. And then we'll escape the moon's gravity. So that's what we want. And then once we escape the gravity of the moon, say goodbye to the moon, Bill Kerman. Bill is still just freaking out about everything that's going on. Don't worry, Bill. You have probably enough fuel to get back. I'd give your success rate or your survival rate above a 50% chance, if that makes you feel any better. So now that we're escaping the gravity of the moon, there we go. We're back in Kerbin's gravity. I'm going to get around to the apoapsis, slow us down, and bring us in for landing. So everything, again, so far so good, as long as we have enough fuel to come in and land. And as long as Bill doesn't get too freaked out. Which he already is, I guess. But that's fine. Also, Bill, in case you care, you are now much farther out from Kerbin than any Kerbal has ever been before, which probably just freaks him out more. but he's gonna be almost 3 times or over 3 times the old record for the farthest we've had a Kerbal from planet Kerbin. So now the only thing is I don't want to catch the moon on the way back in, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But once we get to our apoapsis, we're going to do a burn to slow us down. And then hopefully Bill Kerman will be able to safely return home, and then he can stop freaking out. Alright. So you're the farthest Kerbal now in ever. So hopefully that freaks you out a little bit. Whoa. We must have had an encounter with the moon there, but not anymore. So it's all good. And we'll bring you in for a nice, safe landing back home. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. Now we'll speed up time a bit so that you can have a nice, quick journey home. We don't want to speed it up too much, just because if we speed it up too much, he will crash into Kerbin and die a horrible, horrible death, which is the opposite of what he wants, I'm sure. Alright. So now, 25,000 kilometers above the surface of Kerbin, and we're coming in for landing. We'll warp times 50. That'll be plenty. And now let's go a little more. Alright, Bill, you can hopefully relax, although actually this would be the part to freak out about most, probably, is the landing, just because that's the only time where really something could go horribly, horribly wrong and you would die. But, you know, whatever. Other than running out of fuel, which you really weren't in danger of doing, although luckily we added more fuel to this than to the last orbiter, but I don't know that the last orbiter would have had enough. Alright. This one had plenty of fuel to spare though, so that's a good thing. And now we can even try slow ourselves down a bunch. We might as well use the rest of this rocket fuel. There's no point in saving it. Although, let's look at the map, see where we're gonna land. We're gonna land actually right near the launch, so we don't want to slow ourselves down too much, because he'll land right in that ocean and we'll be able to go retrieve him very easily. So that'll be good. We'll speed up time by 10 here, just till we start entering the atmosphere. Alright, like that. Now we'll detach that and deploy the parachutes. So don't worry, Bill, everything is going according to plan, and you should come in for a nice, safe landing. And that doesn't seem to be of too much consolation to Bill. He's still freaking the hell out. But whatever. He did it. He was the first Kerbin to orbit the moon. Now all he has to do is survive the landing. So here he goes. He's slowing down nicely now to about 500 meters per second right there, and he's gonna come in for a nice safe landing. Everything is looking a-okay as long as nothing goes catastrophically wrong. Bill Kerman is going to survive this mission, and he will have been the first Kerbal to orbit the moon and return safely. Turn off our SAS and just let the capsule float gently down. He's now at 140 meters per second, 7,000 meters above the surface, and he's going to come down very nicely for a water landing just off the coast. Our space program launch site is just over there in that direction. So we'll send a boat for you, Bill, as soon as you land. Or we can send the boat now and it'll meet you there. Don't worry. We'll get you back nice and safe. And he's now under 100 meters per second, and right there is the moon that he was just orbiting. So that's pretty cool. The total flight time has been a little over 3 days. 3 days, 5 hours, and 45 minutes about. And he's now coming down above the ocean at 75 meters per second, still 1,500 meters above the surface, and about 1,000 meters above the surface right now. And the parachute should fully deploy in 3, 2, 1. There they go. And now he's coming in at a nice 3.3 meters per second. So, Bill, do we get a smile from you now that you know you're going to land safely? Any sort of smile. Anything at all, Bill. Come on. Come on. You can do it, Bill. Give us a little smile. Anything. You just orbited the moon. Your mission's gone successfully. Can you be a little happy? No. Alright. Well, we're happy for Bill. Even if he's not happy for himself. We'll speed up time a little bit right now, just so that he can come in for a nice quick landing here, and we can start preparing for our next mission. And I believe the next thing I'm going to try to do is send a satellite into deep space. So we will try that next in the next episode of Kerbal Space Program. And here's Bill going at just over 3 meters per second, and he's about 32 meters above the surface. So prepare for touchdown, Bill, or splashdown, I guess I should say. Preparing for splashdown, and there he is. And he has returned safely. Now will you smile, Bill? Anything. Any sort of smile at all. Nope. Alright. We won't get Bill out of his capsule. We'll just leave him in there because we don't want him to drown or anything like that. So we'll leave him out there. We'll send a boat for him to pick him up later. So thank you guys for watching. This has been iampeppino playing Kerbal Space Program, and we will be back for our next episode soon. Bye-bye.